Welcome back to another episode of the Cobra Daytona Build. On this episode, it's more bodywork time. As you can see, I'm dressed in my Tyvek suit because I try to keep myself somewhat clean so I don't have to take a shower after I do this because you get covered in dust, gel coat, body filler, whatever it might be. So I also got a respirator on, so when I'm sanding, you may not be able to hear me as well, but we'll do the best we can because I don't want to breathe this crap. So I'm actually working on the main body. Got a lot done already, but I'm going to kind of take you through block sanding, how I do it. I start off with a really aggressive grit. I'm going to start off with 80. Sometimes let them go coarser than that. Two reasons. One, it makes for a straighter finish. If you start off with, let's say, 220, you'll tend to get more waves in the finish, whereas if you block it hard and aggressive first and then work up, you start off nice and flat. And that's the key. So you want it flat. So that's why I said 80 is my go-to grit. Right off the bat, and then maybe we'll go to 180 and then prime. So I don't seal this fiberglass or anything. Basically, I'm just throwing coats of the polyester filler, polyester primer, and then I'll paint once I get it to where I want it to go. If it's steel, then I may prime either a DTM, direct to metal primer, but fiberglass, fairly easy to paint. And guys always say, oh, well, fiberglass, harder to paint. I don't think so. I find it easier, especially with factory 5 bodies that come pretty straight from the factory. I don't have any issues with it. So follow along, kind of show what I'm doing. I'm going to mix up some body filler. I think I've showed you that before, so no need to watch until I start blocking. I'll kind of show you where I'm applying the body filler though. Okay, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. So I've put another skim coat of the Kevlar stuff on, the fiberglass short strand, just to kind of fill in the lows. I'm going to get all that knocked off, and then we'll put the rage on. So just want to see what I've kind of done, just to kind of fill in some of the new, like this here, still a little low. Missed that spot, but we'll fill it in with rage. Other than that, body's looking pretty good. This thing should be pretty easy to paint, I'm thinking. This whole thing into here was a mess. I don't know how the hell I'm going to really sand that. That's all going to be probably sanded by hand and a pain in the ass. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I can put a drum sander on, spin it around on a drill and make it quick. I don't know, we'll figure that one out. But the body work continues. Okay, so I've got the second coat of short strand on here, which pretty much filled it in. Actually feels pretty good now. Still a little high right here, so I got to build this up with some rage. This has got a big low back up into here. So we'll get some rage, float this whole area. This is all feeling pretty good. A little low right there. But as I said, my buddy can feel this stuff that paints all the time. He can run his hand across something and go little low spot, high spot. I can't do that. But yeah, other than that, it's looking pretty good. I tried fitting a ducktail spoiler in there. That doesn't fit very well. That's going to take some time, I think. But we'll get there later. So I'll put a coat of rage on now and go from there. Okay, so I got the body filler, got hardener added. Now I'm just trying to mix it. So I'm kind of working itself over itself like this. And then just kind of squeeze it down and out. Once I get it to where it's all one uniform color, time to go apply. So let's go hit it.
In the middle of a cute picture and he tells me to move.
Here I am. I'm going to spread this body filler. This is all low up in here. So I'm going to use a whole chunk of this and build this up. I've already hit this with a DA and then blocked it a little bit just to find out where the highs and lows are.
Grass under ton. Timmy!
Yeah, you have to excuse my wife. She's kind of crazy. Yeah, she's a crazy lady, so.
We'll see if it gets more ratings. You got some happy smiling pictures, I think. Well, why did you do it? Look, ready? You did it. Where'd it go? Get it, Sammy. Where's your ball?
Okay, so I think that's it. And then I'll show you how to block the rest of this. Okay, so this is all drying, which right in the sun, this stuff is almost tacked off. Hope you can hear me through my respirator. Let that dry a little while longer, then I'm gonna DA it, get it roughed down, and then I'll start blocking it out. It should be pretty close. So we're gonna go start DAing or blocking out the other side.
So I'm using a Dura block. I don't know what the length is, about 10 inches maybe. And then I have a soft conformable block, which I'll use in this area here. So I'm just going to start, hopefully you can see all this. Like I said, we're just going to kind of work this pattern. So this is all pretty straightforward. This is where it gets a little tricky because you got this compound bend. But this is just, you just keep working this way, and kind of roll it, the block, over the edge of the body. And this should come out really, really nice. I can still feel a little something right into here, but it's feeling pretty good. So we'll just slowly keep working this in. So when I use my hand over here, sometimes I'll even shut my eye. That actually feels pretty good. We're just trying to rough it in, get it close to a little high right in here, I think. Both hands nice and even, not one higher than the other. And just smooth strokes. That feels pretty darn good right there. So now we're going to take this curve block. I'm going to curve this thing around like this a little bit. Re-stick it. I'm going to work this edge. And keep, well, that feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Okay, I think we're pretty good. So once this hard gets dried, I'll DA this, and then we'll start blocking that out. And I think it's feeling pretty good. I already blocked this out. So back in here, I'm blocking this the same way. I'm just that feels pretty good right there. Okay, same thing down in here. You know, when you get a straight edge like this, it's fairly easy. So when you start getting this curve, that curve, these compound curves, that's when you need a soft block and kind of conform. But the nice thing with these curved surfaces, it doesn't have to be glass flat because you can't see it because it kind of hides what's going on. That's actually what's nice about these cars. There's so much curves on them. The bodywork doesn't have to be spot on, even if you're shooting black. So like up here in the roof, I'm going to climb up into the... Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to put this over here. Now as you start getting near this edge, you start coming to that compound curve again. This is really nice. So I might even then, but you see how the block does not sit straight here because this rolls, sits pretty straight there. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Now if you see here, most of these scratches, you don't see any shiny spots. This is pretty dang smooth. They did a nice job laying out the roof. Except for the back section where the mold seams come together, which I'm gonna have to work on. So, but I'll keep working on this front. Don't think I need to show you anymore. You get the idea. As I said, it's just a lot of work. This is going to take me a lot of hours. Now I want to show you one. So you see right in here, hope you can see that. A little bit lighter there. We're not quite cutting that little, so it's a little divot, a little low spot. So I'll keep working this whole area and hopefully it'll go away. If not, a little bit of body filler. Here we've actually got a gouge, probably from shipping, in the gel coat. So that'll probably throw a body filler in. We'll keep blocking the area. Maybe we'll get it out, maybe we won't. And then we'll, if not, we'll fill it in. Okay, so I've done a lot of blocking here. I don't know how many, probably half an hour's worth, I'm guessing. Feeling pretty good right now. So I got just a little low spot right here, just a little touch-up putty will fill that in. A little low spot right there. Other than that, it feels really good. So I said now I got to finish hitting that with a DA, knock it down, then I can block all this in with that. And the roof is pretty darn close. So it feels pretty good almost everywhere I'm feeling. Feels really good actually. Yeah, feeling no issues there. So yeah, so this is probably good enough now where I can hit that with my DA, wipe that thing down real fast. I'm able to go fire up the DA and get that thing done. Okay, so we're gonna hit this with the DA now. Okay, so I've DA'd this whole area down. It's still a little bit high. That's a little bit high. This might be a little low right here. I haven't cut that. We'll find out. I don't want to block. It still feels a little high. Now I'm going to start blocking. So now I've got it DA'd. So now we're going to start figuring out what's going on in here. Hopefully you can see all this. I'm going to grab the other block. So I'm going to throw a soft block into here. Since this is curved, I'm going to curve this. That feels pretty good right in there. Okay, so now I'm into here, so I'll start working this way. Now this is rough.
So what I've done so far is kind of just rough block it. Once I put a coat of primer on it, a guide coat, which I'll show you down the road, that's how you get it perfectly straight. This just gets me in the ballpark. So right now I can feel, that feels pretty good, but until I get a guide coat on here, but that feels excellent. Feels really straight. So you get the idea. I'm gonna work from here on over now, see what we end up with. Might still be a couple low spots right up into here. We'll see. So as you can see, I got body filler on parts of the nose, nowhere near done. I'm gonna float all these seams with Rage now. Actually, I gotta buy another gallon. But you can see it's getting there. This has definitely got a whoop-de-doo in there. Probably have to float this back, both sides, longboard that. And then as you can see over here, the body, all the mold seams have been ground down, everything taken out of there. The gel coat was really thick, and I'm down quite a bit down there before I can get glass. So I don't know why. Maybe their molds are getting old. I mean, this is 2000 and something, so maybe it's time for them to redo their molds. I don't know. I got a few of the little crap I got to pick out of there. Not much, the clay in this body here. So, but you can see it's all kind of cleaned up. I got one breakthrough right here. If you can see that, it's really thin, so I'm going to lay some glass up on the back side of that. The pillars look really good. Definitely is a mismatch here, so I'm going to have to float some body filler onto that to fill that in. Other than that looks pretty good. I think this thing should be, you know, ready for prime in no time. So it's still got a lot to go, but it's getting there. As you can see, I got more of that clay crap in here too, so I'm gonna have to go through and clean this up. But I think we'll call it a day. So thanks again for watching Bodywork video 1, 2, 3. I don't know how I break these things up. Depends on how long they are. So I don't want to bore anybody, but I want people to see how it's done. So thanks again for watching. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.